Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mike here. We're gonna wait a minute to let's see who comes on here and get going with Mondays with Mike. Welcome back. Here every other Monday. Um, Sorry, just writing to a customer like we're always doing constant work. And yeah, crazy week. We'll see who joins this week on Mondays with Mike. And if you've never been on the channel, we come here every other Monday. It used to be every week, but now it's pretty much every other Monday. And yeah, it's a good place to come, ask some questions, talk back and forth, chat in the comments, leave a message. I can answer questions. And yeah, hopefully help some of you guys out that need parts or have a question about your order or any of the above. So yeah, we'll just let some people get in here and see what happens. New manufacturers. Well, that's actually one of the topics I was going to talk about today. Actually, we've been doing good. I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting a lot of orders from people, with different brands. Basically, for everyone that if you're new to the channel, we've started selling Toyota, Subaru, Nissan, Infiniti, Hyundai, and we're going to slowly keep adding some more as we get caught up on these ones and also go back some years and add more parts. But we have been getting quite a few orders and a lot of people that are browsing the website and putting them into a cart. So at least we're seeing some activity, which is good. It's going to take time, and I honestly haven't really advertised heavily online really too much about it. Because we're still adding new stuff every day. So I kind of wanted to get more of a lineup of decent parts added before someone goes on there and they're like, man, they don't have enough. But yeah, we're going to keep working on it. Like I said, it's just been really busy right now. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to that and keep adding more and more stuff every day. The problem is there's a lot of price changes right now, which is one of my other topics going on. So it's more companies again upping their price. It seems like it's almost every month a company keeps upping another 10%, another 10%, another 10%. So Mishimoto today, another 10 to 20% on top of what they already charge. Some 30%. So yeah, I mean, prices are going up like we've been warning you guys for months. Do not hesitate waiting on an order because you think, oh, maybe there's a sale coming up or I'm going to get it cheaper. You are not. You're actually going to probably end up paying more the longer you wait this year. Do I see prices coming down? For the majority of the brands, no. It's just what it is. I think it's these tariffs are a good excuse for some companies to make more money. And that's just how it's going to be. So yeah, like I said, more parts. We've got big updates coming this week. I'll actually talk about the 11th gen on the channel a bit tonight because most people will miss out on our build and actually not hear this live conversation. So I'm going to have a full update this week on the 11th gen, what's going on, why it hasn't progressed, yada, yada, yada. I got a bunch of crap online the other day from kids being like, it's taken 4 years. The car hasn't even been out for almost 4 years, so I don't know why that's even a thing, but it's been over a year. Yes, building a race car does take a lot of money and a lot of time. And considering, me and one other person is the one kind of building this thing, mainly me, I don't have a lot of time. So that's why it just doesn't get done by a bunch of people that are working on the car for me. So hopefully, we'll get some more stuff. I do have a lot of stuff coming up actually. And yeah, we should have some good progress this year. I really don't think it's going to be running this year, to be honest. And once again, I've kind of changed a little bit of my mind what I wanted to do on the 11th gen. We were gonna kind of go all full bore and full drag. I'm not doing that, but we are gonna keep it a very big build. But the 11th gen, I was kind of doing it more to show people how they can do it at home or whatever, or buying the parts from us, which is still going to be part of the video, but we're just doing a different style turbo that's more bolt-on that you could actually do. I would suggest a way smaller one because it's too large for most people. But most of the videos are going to be pretty much helpful for people. I don't want to put out all the info because then other shops are just going to start, giving parts away, and then I won't sell anything, and I've done all the work. I'm pretty sure Andy's totally used to that from the years of doing stuff for the Accord community, and people ask and ask and ask, and they just go buy from someone else or support some other company instead of actually supporting the people that have invested money and time into these things. So yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. We should have an update in the next few weeks, maybe, hopefully some pictures. I'm working on the 9th gen too, getting that all back together. It will not be running. Okay. We're just putting it all back together so it looks finished. That way, when we sell it, someone knows where everything goes, and they can also get a final picture idea of everything because everything is painted, powder coated. It looks show worthy. So I wanted to get it all done so it was like perfectly ready for people, whoever decides to buy it. Hey, Adam, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we get a lot of people tonight. I actually do have a lot to talk about. That's why we've been doing this every 2 weeks, is so there's actually more stuff to actually talk about. Weekly stuff, it's just, Acuity shifters are out for the 11th gen and new Integra. Finally, after like 3 years of waiting, getting a lot of good feedback. They are sold out. I have another batch coming in the next week, I think, here, that are almost sold out already. So I've ordered another batch. So no idea when those will show up. Usually if they're sold out, it's like a week to 2 week wait. So yeah, so the Acuity shifter is getting good feedback. Like I said, you can pre-order one and they'll ship the minute I have them in here. Let's see what else. Right now I have a huge sale on the 11th gen and Integra PRL N1 catback. It normally goes for $839. I have it shipped for $599. There's only a couple days left on this. Once it's sales done, it's done. There will probably not be any more PRL sales this summer. I really don't see it happening. Maybe select items that they maybe have overstock. But yeah, this might be one of the last ones. So yeah, another thing, finally added 6th gen CRV stuff. So we'll be working on that a little bit. Obviously, there's very select amount of parts for it. But we're going to get there, and we're going to keep working. Hopefully, that can be another good thing for us, as well as the 5th gen CRV. I actually have to spend some time sending my team some of the parts on that because they're more kind of hidden and harder to figure out about. So I'm personally, I love both. I'm way more of an Acuity fan. I just feel it's a much tighter shifter. The hybrid ones for me tend to get a little bit more of slop and side-to-side movement through time. So my thing is Acuity, definitely. Obviously, I've been supporting them from day one since they started the business. So I think we're one of the first dealers. I know we weren't the first, but one of. It was a long time ago, and pretty much we got going with them with the 9th gen Civic. So let me see what else. We do have some open box deals on the site. There is some good Type R stuff on there. 10th gen Civic stuff, 1.5. There's some wheel spacers on there. There's some random Toyota pedal commanders on there. I have 3 in stock at a killer deal, and they work on a lot of different Toyotas and some Subarus. But yeah, it's just been about it. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, even you look at the work, like put into that the PLM bracket for the Accord. I mean, that thing took forever to finally ship. They're already sold out. They have pre-orders up again. I don't think they ordered much more over what their initial stock was. And I just sold my last one yesterday. So we're all out here too of them. But yeah, the only thing on those mounts, like Andy said, you've got to kind of drill out the bottom part so it sits flush because of the bolt, the way the stock bolt is. You can actually take the bolt or the mounting post out of the OEM bracket and then actually just go get a bolt and put that in. That's how I've actually ran my mounts. I get rid of that stock one, but that's up to you. So it does kind of need slightly modified, which kind of sucks. I don't know how companies miss this stuff when they're manufacturing parts. But that's kind of like the flaw of, getting them made overseas and the breakdown of communication, I guess. Real quick, PLM, HPS, several other companies, Skunk 2, pretty much anyone overseas, stuff is sold out a lot. And I think a lot of companies are waiting on the tariffs to kind of go away till they bring stuff into the ports. So if you really need something, please message us beforehand if it's in stock, because I guarantee you most of them aren't. So let me just check Andy's message here. Yeah. Well, I don't know, like with the whole industry right now, what I've noticed a lot is if you can package a pretty sweet deal, especially and market it very well for some of these kids, they just eat it up. And you could even just rebrand something and people will just eat it up if you have the right little cushy, logo and things. I mean, I take, for instance, like our Axion inlet for the 11th gen. We've sold quite a few of them, but I wouldn't say the sales have been through the roof on them, partially because it needs a custom tune, which we're taking care of. We're finally going to get the street math ones going, which don't need tunes. Our price on them is $7.99. If you actually compare 27.1 and PRL's inlet and intake together, they're several $100s more than ours, and actually probably make around or a little less than the horsepower ours make. We do have a larger on the race MAF, larger MAF housing, which does allow for about 5 wheel horsepower more. And the material is totally different, and they're 100% USA made. So I don't know. I love our inlet. I'm going to keep making them regardless of the sales. That's not really why I didn't really want to start being this company that, makes a ton of parts so we could sell ours. It's just offering a unique product to the market, and the people that want to support it can support it. Everything else pays my bills, the normal standard parts that we sell all the time anyways. All right, hold on. I'm getting through this stuff. Hold on. PRL front mount or 27.1. I'm just depending, since price of the PRL is almost the cost of 27.1 without the upgrade charge pipes. Is it even worth getting the upgraded charge pipes? I don't like the stock charge pipes due to, if you go squeeze one of the stock couplers, they're very, very soft. And, it's just a nice upgrade to do. A little bit better sound, a little bit more responsive. Andy, however, is not a fan of 27.1. I'll let him explain. Won't bash a company on here just because I'm in the industry, and it's just we personally don't sell 27.1. I don't think we ever will. Been down that road, never got anywhere, and so that's our stance on it. I just really like PRL. I'd have no idea where 27.1 is made. I'm assuming China or overseas Taiwan. So Andy just has a lot of experience with seeing stuff through the internet and I'll let him comment on it. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the 27.1 thing because it gets talked about all the time on this channel. But Andy can comment in the comments about a couple things he's seen. Obviously, we've got to watch legal wise what we say on here because, if we say the wrong thing about a company, there could be a lawsuit. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah, personally, I support PRL. They've done so much for the Honda community from the beginning, doing a lot of parts that other companies wouldn't bring to the table. And if you really look at their design portfolio, everyone copies them. 27.1 haven't. They actually have a totally different. The reason I'm not a fan of the 27.1 is because I don't like the cast end tanks on the intercooler. I love the fact that PRL do the billet end tanks. It just looks way better. The finish is better. I don't know on heat soak. I'm assuming the billet ones will cool a little bit better, but that's not really been proven. I'm not a big fan of cast anything. That's why our downpipes don't have cast. It's just a cheaper way to manufacture versus something that's properly welded, and it's cheaper to make. So you look at the cast bottoms, cast top, and then they just weld the inner cat. There's literally hardly any welding, so it saves a lot of money. And a lot of people will ask, well, why is Axion's downpipe so much money? Actually, we're only about $50 more than the competition. It's all 100% made in the US. The brackets, everything are cut on a laser bench in the US, welded in Arizona. That's where they're made. There's no cast housings. The only downfall with our downpipe has been the fact that we don't retain stock heat shields, which will be a thing in the past once we come out with our Axion PTP blanket, which on this next batch of downpipes we have coming out in about 3 to 4 weeks. I'm sending one off to PTP of both styles so we can get them made. And we'll actually be the only company that offers a downpipe blanket for the 1.5. So, yep. So anyways, where are we at? Order cancellations, as a reminder. We're pretty much in the same boat as everyone else. We're always accommodating of trying to help with orders, maybe get you something else that's in stock. But you do have to understand that credit card companies charge us to refund now. It's not like how it used to be. So we charge a cancellation fee. Most pre-orders cannot be canceled at all. It's just part of the business, and it's constantly changing. So yeah, and a lot of the manufacturers won't even cancel the order. So like I had a guy that wanted a HKS intercooler. I had it ordered for him and he wanted to cancel it. I told him, well, now I'm going to have to actually take your part in and sit on it so I can give you a refund. So yeah, it's things like that, We're still technically a small business, even though we do huge numbers. But to be constantly sitting on people's canceled orders and have all this inventory of stuff that person wanted but no longer want is kind of difficult. Are the Acuity reverse flow radiator hoses a good pickup? I think so. You're basically transitioning the flow of the radiator hose from top to bottom. So you don't have the super hot water coolant at the bottom of the radiator, which sits next to the intercooler. So what you're doing is getting in the really hot water, coolant up top, filters down and cools as it gets down. It's pretty much an F1 technique. As Russell from Acuity has worked in F1 before. So he's just taken some of this engineering stuff and applied it to their parts. Really cool stuff. And the FK8 ones work on the Accord. I think Andy was one of the first ones to try that out. So, yep. The 11th gen, yeah, the Civic, it's the same concept. Vargas turbos are pretty good, actually. The problem is they're hardly ever in stock. I mean, my favorite Type R turbo is the MHI Stage 2. The RV6s, if it's going on a Type R, are actually pretty nice. A lot more lag than the MHI Stage 2. But it just depends on your goal of the car. If you're looking for over 600, I would go the RV6. If you're comfortable in the 500s, just stay with the MHI Stage 2. But yeah. Yeah, Russell's a super cool dude, man. I've met him, I think, 2 times, probably at SEMA. But yeah, really, really cool dude. Trying to think what else we got on here. The other thing is product reviews. Man, the amount of people that get free stuff in their shipments. Please leave a product review. I see when you guys read them, and it's so frustrating as a business owner trying to get people to leave a review. And I understand it's a pain, but we actually are giving away some free cash with each review. So if you leave a review, they did start June 3rd, and we're ending it on August 31st. If you leave a review, you get $5 cash credit on each review you leave. So go back through your emails. They're usually in the promotions section. You can find them and leave a review. It helps us tremendously, as when we ported it off to this new site a year and a half, 2 years ago, we lost every single review we ever had on our site since we started in 2009. So it really helps to try and catch up on these, especially with some companies that, you go on their site and they have like 340, and you go on ours and we only have 2. Who do you think you're going to buy from? So anyways, let me get through. Andy answered that question. Like I said, what's the plan for the Type R swap? Drag, time attack. I go through this all the time in my head. I honestly don't know. I'm probably going to get the car done, take it out a couple times. It depends, and probably get rid of it. Us here, we want to kind of come up, test things, get better knowledge of parts, and then I sell the cars usually. Like our Accord that we did, our RDX, our RSX, our Pilot I owned. I've owned a Ridgeline, the Honda Fit. So most likely it'll probably be getting sold. Yeah, the 660 is going to hit just under, and then they have their new anti-surge ones, which could get you right around 600. And that was for you, David. Welcome into the chat tonight. Hope you're doing well. Like I said, Accord RDX, definitely stay with the MHI Stage 2. It's the best, hands down, on that car as far as lag. And I know a lot of people like the 27.1. I just feel the reliability of the MHI is the best turbo you can possibly run on those cars. Cool. I love it. I love seeing people get to come in and finally be on here. I thought changing it every 2 weeks might have hurt people tuning in, because it's like, what week are we on? Did he have it last week? So it definitely helps. I have some good videos coming out this week. We're going to upload onto our YouTube. So it helps if you guys are watching stuff. Thumbsing up the videos help a lot. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, 600, you're pretty much just, it's going to be all over the place and wheel spin. And you got to find the happy medium of what you like, because there's that transition that you go from a really fun street car to not a really fun street car, and they just get very loud, hard to control, not enjoyable for daily driving. So yeah, it's just really up to you. I think the 500 range in there, low 500s, especially if you want to keep the stock bottom end from failing, is a good safe numbers. So much better to go with. All right, what else we got? I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, our downpipe should be done in the next 3 to 4 weeks, which is good. Hopefully we can start getting some Type R owners some of these downpipes. I think we've got about 20 in the wild, and I've got about 20 on the shipment coming in once they finish them up. So hopefully we'll get some good feedback from this next batch. I didn't really hear much on the last ones, which is kind of a good thing, but kind of not. But yeah, we'll see. I think that's about it for today, and then we can just go off of questions that you guys have. I do have a really sweet open box deal on a CSF FL5 radiator. If anyone wants it, we're selling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have friends that have Subarus, or any other manufacturer, let them know we sell stuff. I'd love to be able to kind of help some people out, and we're trying to grow our list of those people. So, obviously we can kind of help them out with some pricing in that. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Obviously, I've owned a Subaru a long, long time ago. I've owned several cars besides Hondas too, so know a little bit about other things um, than just Hondas. And I figure I could be a Toyota Supra, aficionado, because I have owned several BMWs in my lifetime. So considering most of the car is pretty much everything BMW. All right, let's see what else. Anyone else out there? Make sure to say hello if you're tuning in. And if you're not commenting in the comments, love to see who's in here watching, even if it's some of our competition or even some of the manufacturers we buy from. I know PRL checked out the video a couple weeks ago, some of the guys over there. So hope everyone's having a good Monday. It's just been raining a lot here in North Carolina. Pretty crazy. And yep, ready for some good sunny weather, hopefully. Trying to think some other stuff going on. That's about it. Pretty much what I've got. Oh yeah, teen springs and coilovers went up 10 to 15%. So yeah, not fun for them. Swift springs going up. Obviously, the Swift springs, if you get them with their coilovers, BC or silvers, those have gone up $100 more per set of springs if you do the Swift upgrade. So yeah, super cool. So yeah, if you have questions, shoot them at me. I would love to read some stuff and get some questions going. Well, this actually brings up a really good thing. So I see a lot of stuff online all day long in the pages online. And for some reason, in some of the groups, a lot of them, we get totally missed as a company that has really done a lot of work with the 11th gen Civic to other companies. And I just have to say, we were the first company to even do a transmission on an 11th gen and a clutch job before anyone else had, to actually verify that everything works. I can definitely answer you that I'm one of the only people and only companies actually that know how to run a PPG gear set in an 11th gen trans, as there is actually differences on the 11th gen versus the 10th gen. And I see a lot of people saying like, go with so-and-so. I'm not naming names. They do everything. They're the number one 11th gen company. I get it, but there was a lot of stuff that we did way ahead of the game before any other companies out there, because we had the first 11th gen, I think, on the West Coast before the SI even came out. And that's why we ended up buying the sport touring with the 6-speed, because I wanted all this information on the engine and trans and everything. So I understood what parts worked. So, we figured out the camber arms, the suspension, the coilovers, everything, front pipe, down pipes, what works, the Cobra intake. We were the ones that first put a Cobra on our car, figured out which one you needed so it worked, where it was tight fitting and didn't work very well. We swapped cams in the car, I think at 1,000 miles on the car. We had the engine out at 800 miles. Clutch was done at 1,000 miles. First had sport mounts, full sets. I mean, it's like all these things, and I just think a lot of people online, especially the 11th gen community, don't even understand who even Axion is, which is crazy to me. Because I think there's a lot of gimmicks online of different companies that just spend thousands a month on advertising to really promote their businesses, which is totally cool. That's how business works. You have to promote it. But we're just not really about that. We're about more being in the community out. I have a face online. I share the info and, go out kind of that route, So, um, yeah, I mean, it's totally easy to do it in the driveway. I do think, I mean, I've done mine in my drive. I did the entire case swap. If you guys have seen online, I did the case swap on the floor in a driveway because I had to fly back to Arizona where the car was actually being kept. I had no tools. I only had a select few tools that I brought, and a floor jack, and did the entire swap with a floor jack. um, it is good to get a trans jack as well to support the trans. Usually, I actually like to get the trans jack and put it under the oil pan because it's a flatter surface and it keeps the engine more stable. And then I use the actual jack to get the trans out of there. But pretty much everything's straightforward. I mean, it's just the time of taking everything apart. I would say the biggest pain, especially if you're by yourself. I mean, I do all the work by myself. I haven't had any help with a car from anyone. um, as far as most of my wrenching. When I'm working on it, I'm working on it alone. The biggest part is actually putting the steering shaft when you're jacking up the subframe, making sure it lines up perfectly the way you took it out. Because if it's off, it's going to get a reading on the dash and throw a code. I've had several exhausts on the FL1. Had Remark was the first one. I actually love the Remark for that car. As we found out through the years, pretty much all the exhausts work on all the cars. The only thing is if you put in a sedan exhaust on the FL1, it'll be a little longer and will look a little weird with the bumper, but it's still fine. Um, but yeah. Yeah, the best thing is to go under the dash, take a black Sharpie or even like a white paint marker. White paint's better because you can see it because usually under the dash it's super dark. Take some white paint and just score it on both parts where they meet up. And that's all you have to do. And then that way you line it up perfectly when you're putting it back together. So. Well, I'm staying out of that drama online. And like I said, if you guys want to talk in between the comments, I'm totally fine with that. So, um, but yeah, it's not that hard to do. It's probably on your back and that doing it your first time. It's going to take 10 to 12 hours. It's a long job. I do recommend doing the clutch line at the same time because it is a nice change and it does help with the clutch engagement. The stock rubber line is just super. It has a lot of give to it. You can always do the Remark Civic Si exhaust, and then you'll get the single outlet. AWE, Apexi. Apexi is usually sold out because it comes from Japan. What's up, Lewis? I really like the AWE one. As far as the tips, they look really sick. Super nice look on the car. The track is extremely loud, but it sounds great. The touring is a lot more quiet. Thermal exhaust is really nice if you don't like drone. Just remember, if you are buying a Civic Si one, it's going to sit a little different. You can always take it later to an exhaust shop and just have them cut the pipe and re-weld the flange so then it sits a little better. But just giving you opinions of what you can do. But yeah, lots of options. Cool, guys. Well, we're going half an hour now. I'm going to stay on for a little longer. And make sure to thumbs up the videos. I appreciate it. That way it gets out to more people. We're trying to still grow the channel. I finally got my first paycheck from YouTube, which it was actually pretty nice money. It takes a while for them to kind of accrue some of the cash and then send you all the info to get it all handled. But it is actually nice to make a little bit of cash off YouTube. Um, I mean, it buys a free dinner every month. So shift base bushing sold with the Acuity fully adjustable, or it comes with the shift. And we actually have I go over the parts on the workbench for the shifter. I have a video up. I think it was the last one we just did. It comes with them. I'm still about a week and a half out, probably, from getting my next batch. So I would definitely order, as I only have like 2 left on that one that are coming in. But yeah, if you need any help, just message me on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it for this week as far as all the updates anyways. I mean, you guys can keep talking and asking me questions. That's what I'm here for. Hopefully more people come in here and, get a little bit more knowledgeable about parts and understand things. Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever bring this one out. I mean, we're going to have more swag as the year goes along. We're trying to do some things bigger. It's just I've got a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to get more parts kind of custom made by us. We're working on a couple other things for other manufacturers that I really want to get made. And hopefully we'll have some new stuff coming out. I have maybe something coming out for the 2019 to 25 passport, probably. I don't know yet because I'm working on it, and we'll see if it's even feasible to do. But that might happen. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, people keep asking me for inlets for the Accord and the Type R, and I just don't see them selling for those cars, but it could happen at some point. We'll see. It just takes a lot of work getting these things, and especially when I'm, pretty much running everything here, trying to get something that kind of size done. Takes a while. So but yeah, if you guys have any questions left, shoot them on at me. I'd love to hear them. Like I said, please try and leave us a product review. We send them out in the emails after you get your part if you've ordered it. So I appreciate you guys if you can leave a review. It doesn't have to be much. 5-star would be really nice. Please, if you guys kind of like the part, talk about it in the actual description, but don't give like a 1-star for the part, because it really kills like the service part. So maybe mention that the part maybe sucks or this is wrong with it, but still give a decent review, because it weighs on the company, not the part, really. So because we actually get rated based off the ratings. So like I had someone left a part, I can't remember what it was the other day. He left a 4-star, which is fine. He said the service was amazing, but the part had something he didn't like about it. And I'm like, well, you could have said that and leave us still a good review, which would be nice. But yeah, like I said, you guys can get paid for these reviews when you leave them. So I see a lot of people that just ignore them all the time. I had a guy today that cashed in his reviews that he left, and he ended up getting $75 free. So it's always a good thing. So I would go look through your emails and see if you have a promotion thing from us. It has to be something you bought after June 3rd. So, and then you leave a review and we email you and give your account credit. So really nice way to save some money too. And yeah. Yeah, I know that's the problem. I mean, I go through them all the time. Like I come into the office every morning, I have over like 150 promotional emails, and I'm like, delete, delete, delete. Yeah, kind of sucks. I wish they went somewhere else, but it is what it is. But yeah, definitely if you can go through there and check them out. I don't know, they might be in there, or just even type the name. I'm sure a bunch will pop up. So, but yeah, if you guys need parts, like I said, message me anytime. Like I said, we don't take weekends off technically, like other people. Um, if you need a question about something, I'll get back to you on the weekend. I don't care what time it is. Obviously, weekends give me a little bit of time to respond, but it'll definitely, help you have a little bit more understanding of who we are as far as customer service goes, because I can guarantee you we will beat every single company out there, hands down, when it comes to customer service. And I can guarantee that 100%. As I know that, I work pretty much 24/7. So, and a lot of companies don't. So lucky for them, they get days off. We don't. But yeah, I'm going to probably get off here now, guys, and enjoy the evening since it's been a long day. But if you have a question real quick, shoot them at me. If not, I'm getting off. So thanks, Ben, Larry. I still don't know your actual real name. I try, man. It's hard sometimes because certain things we ship from other companies, just because maybe their warehouse is closer and we want you to get your part in 2 days versus 5. And sometimes they let us down. But like I had some guy with, I ordered some parts for him 2 weeks ago, and half of his parts shipped, and they completely blanked on the other half of them. And it's taken them 2.5 weeks to figure out why they haven't shipped. And to me, it should take 1 day. But luckily, he's been really cool, and I've been responding to him every day. I've been hounding this company, and they finally got shipped today. Thank God. So, yeah, sometimes it's out of our control, and I wish I had better control over half of these companies, because I have to deal with customer service from other companies, and half of these companies really are not good. But there are some really good companies out there. So, but yeah, thank you guys for the kind words. Please pass this along to anyone you know that's looking for parts. If we don't have it on the website, I can add it within 5 to 10 minutes usually. I have a team that add parts all day long, as Ben Brockton knows. He actually came to us and said, "Hey, I want PWR. I don't see it on your site." Went and got the PWR account and added it for him. So yeah, it's a good way to get more parts added. Like I said, it's hard to keep up on everything that's out there. So if it's not on the site, just let us know and we'll get it added. So anyways, you guys have a good week. Message me if you need parts, and we will be back in 2 weeks tonight to talk about more Honda parts and everything's. No, the PRL ones do not support the heated steering wheel. Nope. But yeah, we'll be back. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, David. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, James. Thanks, Lewis. Thank you all for tuning in. Been a good night, and hope you all have a wonderful week, and see you next time.